Today we're going for a tour at Pro Street Race Engines. Duane's going to give us a shop tour because Christian, our last $10,000 giveaway credit winner, has chosen to build a 1,000 horsepower rated Barra engine for his turbo territory. We jumped on a phone call with Christian to talk about everything that's involved, but today we're going to show you a behind the scenes of what happens when building a Barra engine and some of the specs that Christian has chose for his build. Let's go check it out.
Welcome to Pro Street, guys. We're an engine machine shop, an engine assembly shop. We specialise in performance Barras, RBs, LSs. That's sort of our bread and butter at the moment. So come have a look inside. So this is, I guess, the shop car. 3.7 billet crank, D-stroke, G45 with an 85mm wheel. It's got pretty much all the bells and whistles. It's going out for a final assembly soon. So hopefully get this thing running. This one here is a Holden V8 383 stroker. So it's going in a HQ GDS, solid roller. Basically got all the bells and whistles, run it up. It's better off putting the engine on an engine dyno if possible, because that way you sort of nut out all the plugs. If there's any problems, leaks, set tappets, find out where it's at. Usually you can get it on the dyno. This is an SR20, 2.2 Nitto stroker. You know, this one's actually going in a Pulsar GTIR, believe it or not. It's a little engine. We've got a few Barras here. So this is what a machine block looks like, ready for assembly basically, all painted, new Welsh plugs, clearances done, just waiting to be final assembled. You can see there's a few of them there, just waiting.
So this Barra here is obviously finished.
Yeah, so that's a completed package. That one's basically ready for pickup. So we offer that too. We've got a painter down the road who does it for us pretty quickly.
Show us some of the machines you do. So what kind of machining and stuff do you do in-house?
Yep, so we try and do as much as we can. We're still building. You know, we've only been sort of in a decent sized factory, you know, for the last couple of years. So we're starting to invest in our own machinery where we can. This one's our latest one that just turned up, which we're just setting up, which is a line home machine. So it machines the crank, the main tunnel of the block, whether it's 6-cylinder, V8, you can do multiple. Because we put ARP studs and girdles on most engines, it distorts the bore on the main tunnel. So if that's not around, you could have oiling problems. You know, you don't have enough bearing crush, so you could spin a bearing. There's multiple things. So this is sort of a niche machine, very important in high performance stuff. You know, it's a little bit of every percent sort of matters. There's a mandrel that basically 2 meters long. It's got stones on it, and you put it in the tunnel, you load it up, and then you just run it through just manually, just with a bit of load. You know, after a bit of experience with one of these machines, you kind of get the feel for it.
So if any other shops need this kind of stuff done to hit you up?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, there's a few people that already know that this machine was on its way and coming. So we've already got some work lined up for it. It's not a very common machine. Sort of the bigger shops usually have these, but no one around here has one of these machines. So we thought, you know, we'll try and fill that gap, and you know, it's good for us, and it might help some other engine builders if they need that kind of work done.
And what does this one here do?
So that's just a conventional lathe, really, nothing special. I purchased this basically only because of the length of it, because when we started with Barras, I wasn't going to buy a lathe that I couldn't fit a Barra crank into. So we ended up with this. We lineage cranks on here. Yeah, we can make things, we can modify things. Right now, this is an RB30 crank on here. So what we're doing is the oil pump drive mod. So we actually fit a sleeve to extend the oil pump drive, because on the RB30s, they've actually only got a really narrow drive on it. So when these things are turning pretty hard, either they'll break the gears in the RB30, or sorry, in the oil pump, or they'll just shear the gear straight off, because there's probably about 2 mil worth of drive on there. So we add that, and it's just guaranteed insurance that it's not gonna break the gears, it's not gonna shear the pump, just safety. This is our Bridgeport mill, machine cylinder heads, machine blocks. That's a cylinder head machining fixture which we just purchased to make our life a little bit easier. You know, we use a single cutter, CBM, PCD, which are basically a type of cutter based on what material we're cutting. So this will surface the deck of the block, so the head gasket surface. So we want to make sure that's absolutely flat. You know, we're using steel gaskets these days, which seem to be the norm in performance stuff. So we want to make sure that that surface is absolutely flat and as smooth as possible. So, you know, we've got a few different cutters available here, carbide, CBN, PCDs in different diameters based on, you know, whether it's a steel block or an alloy block with steel liners. There's not really a one cutter fits all. Some people might do that, but we try and have as many options available just so we can really have the best job for us.
And over here we've got the parts wash.
So this is just a jet wash, basically.
Wash.
Yeah, throw anything you want in there.
Yeah.
It gets up to about 80 degrees, got a bit of chemical in there, spin it up and it'll come out brand new. That's a game changer, that machine. So Christian, the winner of the $10,000 giveaway, so he's decided he's going to go with a bit of an engine package. Engine packages are what we specialize in. We try and keep everything to a package, what we've tested, what we've tried and what's been proven, what's on the street. So there's sort of no guesswork. The specs are all the same, no matter which package you get, because we've got a lot of data now. So this here, we've gone with the 1,000 horsepower package, which is sort of the stage 1 forged motor. So it's got an I-beam rod. It's got a CP forged piston. They've got the upgraded pins in them. We always just opt for all the extras. So we've got an offset gudgeon pin. We've got a HD pin in it as well. It's just that added safety. We go for an I-beam rod. Now there is H-beam rods available. My personal opinion, I-beam rods are better. A lot of people will have their own opinion about it and that's perfectly fine. But we like the I-beam, even the price difference between the I-beam and the H-beam, there's not very much in it. So you kind of just, we put the better rod in it, so you've got a better platform to build on.
Do you have a stock one we can put it next to?
Yeah.
Set up. Some random ideas on the fly here.
Yeah, man. One, this is a forged piston. This is made out of material called 2618s. I guess you could say the strongest material, sort of in a off the shelf, just from looking. You can see how much thicker, how much more material is around the pin, how much more material is around the skirt. Naturally, that material is just stronger because this is what they call a cast piston. It's poured as a liquid metal into a mold and then machined, where this is actually a forging, where they actually forge the bit of aluminium and then they turn it into a piston on a machine.
So this is a common breaking point on the Barras when you turn them up? Like
yeah, so what usually happens, what we've seen, is what they'll do is they'll bend first.
Yeah.
And once they're bent, you kind of don't really know it unless it's bent and you can hear a bit of a tick. And then once you just keep pushing it, it's past that point, so it'll just end up snapping, usually punches a hole in the block. So it's just one of those things. People do push these rods, like there's some engines out there, but the guys behind the computer that are tuning those engines are the guys that are really making these things survive, you know?
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad day, weather-wise, something's off, that's not right in the tune-up, and then it's all over. That's it, man. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Like, they're so sensitive. These things run on the edge as they are. We put a bit more compression in it, even though they're turbo, but they do like it. It doesn't take much to ruin a standard engine. You know what I mean? If you give it to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Give it to the right person, yeah, you'll have some fun. It'll last.
Maybe today's the day.
So let's have a look at the block.
Yep. So what happens with the block? Like, what's the process?
Yeah. So the process is the block come in as a complete engine. It'll be, you know, rusted. It'll look like it'll be covered in shit. That's why we basically got the jet wash, just to basically put it in there, wash it up. You know, we've got a good base to start with. We crack test, we sonic test every block, and there's different levels of sonic testing. Based on the results is what package it's gonna be. We kind of keep the thickest block for the bigger packages. Once we've done all the testing, then we'll kind of allocate it to a job. And from there, basically, we'll line hone the block. We'll put some ARP studs in it. We'll put a girdle on it. We'll line hone it. From there, the block will get torque plate honed. Basically, a torque plate simulates the cylinder head on the block whilst we're machining it, because when you put the studs in it and the heads, it actually distorts the block and then it'll distort the cylinder. So you'll actually find that it's actually a different reading in the cylinder without the torque plate on it. So that's how it gets honed to the final size, a certain finish, because we use a tool steel ring. So those rings will only want to be in a bore with a certain finish on the cylinder, because the cylinder, all the honing marks in there, it's called a crosshatch that actually retains oil. So we actually want those crosshatches to be a certain depth, and we also want the peaks of those crosshatches to be a certain height. We don't want them too sharp, because it'll just kill the bedding in of the ring. So it's very important, you know, there's tools these days that we can actually measure what we call the crosshatch, and based on what ring package is going in it is what finish of the cylinder we want. We've got enough data on this to know what we need to take off the top when we surface the block. So we zero deck these blocks, meaning when the piston's at top dead center, it's in line with the deck surface. So it's just something we do. That's what we use our mill for. After that, we just chamfer all the cylinders, we chamfer all the bolt holes, we deburr the block, pull out all the oil galleries. So we just pull them out, we'll put some new ones in it after it's been final washed, put it on an engine stand, we'll paint the block, we'll tape it up, paint it, and we'll put some wash plugs in it, and basically it's ready for assembly. As So he's got the 1,000 horsepower short engine package, and we've added a couple extras for him, which was timing chain, head stud, pump gears. So we're actually gonna fit the oil pump onto the motor for him, so it's all done. So we always check the clearance on the oil pump to make sure that they're within spec, because being a high production engine, you just don't know how long these oil pump housings have been around for. So are they worn, are they not? So it's better off just putting a feeler gauge in it and just double checking, make sure it's within spec. Sometimes they're out, sometimes they're good. Most of the time they're all right, you know, but just that added safety, we'll fit it up for him. So a short engine is just a term that's used in the engine building community, I guess. A short engine is basically a rotating assembly in an engine block. Spec'd out, blueprinted, assembled, ready to put either cylinder heads or a camshaft or whatever you want in there, right? So that's what we call a short engine. I've got a short. Oh, here we go. I've got one sort of already assembled. I'll pull this out. Just provide strength by tying up the main caps together.
So just for those people who are confused, that's upside down. So that's the top, that's the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, so this one's already one that's got the crank already in it, already assembled, ready to go. So this is what a short engine looks like with the crankshaft in it. A conrod, a piston, bearings with the rear main seal in it. And usually on a 6-cylinder like this, that's it. That's usually where we stop.
Yeah.
All right, that's basically what we call just a package.
So then 3/4 is with the sump on it?
So 3/4, which is just another term that's sort of just come about, is just with a cylinder head.
Okay.
All right, so we call that, whether it's a V8 like this, that would be the short motor with the block. If you just put the cylinder heads on it and a camshaft, that's what you'd call a 3/4.
Okay.
Some people do that because there's different manifold options, different sumps based on what car it's going in, which is very important as well. So that's what they call a 3/4. So if I put a cylinder head on that, when the rods and pistons are in it, that's essentially a 3/4, okay? This is basically what we call a long engine. Rocker cover to sump, harmonic balancer on, all sealed up. Basically, you don't have to do anything else. You just put all your accessories on it and just get it in the car. So a package like this, a short engine, from start to finish, would take about 8 to 10 weeks at max. We always have blocks in stock. We stock pistons, we stock conrods, we stock bearings, we stock Welsh plugs, you name it for these, we stock it, just so that we've got it when somebody needs a package. That's sort of, I guess, an easier way to save some time. We know they sell. We do heaps of these, so it's a no-brainer to stock the parts. So we invest in the parts, and every month we'll just keep ordering more and more. About 8 to 10 weeks from start to finish. Sometimes they're a little bit sooner, sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
So Christian has a turbo territory, and this is going to be an epic engine for his build. So it's going to be 1,000 horsepower rated at the crank. So that should be able to push around 700 kilowatt at all 4 wheels on his car, which is going to be crazy. Christian has already done a whole heap of mods to his car, but Christian's keeping the head from his engine, so he's going to pull that off his engine and put it on this one. A fully built engine is probably around 15, 16 grand, depending on how much you spec it up. So he's using his 10 grand credit to do a short block. And the next $10,000 credit giveaway is open now. So check out that QR code if you want to be the next winner. And thank you to all you guys. We'll see you soon.